Hello there. This is the Pyramid of Success from Coach John Wooden, a legendary college basketball coach, a legend, but I actually had never heard of him until yesterday when I listened to an old interview with Tony Robbins when he was 80 years old. And I liked it. I thought it was really great. He had some really interesting insights. And so I had to look up this pyramid, and I've been studying it yesterday, today, this morning, and looked up. Apparently, he's got a book. It's an audiobook. It's only like 4 hours long as an audiobook. So I put that in the queue. It's all about this pyramid of success, but I wanted to kind of just get some quick first reactions about it because I think it's totally fascinating. Gets me motivated right off the bat, but there's so much here. It's not the kind of thing you could just memorize in one day. Maybe it will go up on the wall of the gym someday. So it's something to kind of contemplate between lifts. Let's take a closer look. So first, the definition of success. I think I like this definition. Success is peace of mind, which is a direct result of self-satisfaction and knowing you did your best to become the best that you are capable of becoming. And that goes back to this kind of stoic or serenity prayer kind of attitude of doing, changing the things you can change and letting go, being at peace with the things that you can't change. So there's that peace of mind, which is being at peace with the things I cannot change, serenity, but also knowing that you did everything you possibly could do to affect the outcome and that you didn't hold back. And that's really all you can do, obviously. And so you should be self-satisfied in that and also at peace with that as well, that you gave everything you had. Now, he also talks about giving 110% in his interview with Tony Robbins, and he says that's ridiculous. No one even ever gives 100% because 100% is perfect. And so, maybe Jesus, maybe Buddha, maybe some of these people gave 100%. But we're talking about mere mortals here. 100% as a impossibility, so this is just something to sort of strive towards, but 99.9999% is still pretty good. So as you see, the right side, it looks sort of like emotional more, and left is physical. So industriousness and enthusiasm are the kind of two corners of the pyramid, where enthusiasm is really an emotional kind of feeling of just being happy about what you're doing. And I also was listening to Andrew Huberman lately talking about how love of what you're doing creates energy. So you're actually generating energy to move forward up this ladder. Whereas industriousness is where you work really hard. And this is the number one predictor of success when they study personality traits would be conscientiousness, of which industriousness is one of the aspects of conscientiousness. Let's see, what was the other part of conscientiousness? Orderliness. Orderliness, is that in here anywhere? Orderly. Well, self-control. No. So orderliness, not in here, but that would be an interesting thing to add. At any rate, industriousness and orderliness making up conscientiousness to predict success. So that is huge. I think he wins there. Definitely got that right. But if something's going to take this much work, it's really important that you also have the enthusiasm to keep yourself going, because that generates the energy that you can put into your work. And it continues in this kind of emotional way. Intentness is just kind of setting the goals, which also feeds back on enthusiasm. Team spirit, uplifting the rest of your team with your enthusiasm and wanting to give to your team, which then leads to confidence, which is a knowing. So it's based on real results. So your confidence is based on your physical real results, but it's kind of an emotional feeling you can get with it. And that leads to this competitive greatness. And if we kind of go up the side here, more of the emotional sincerity, honesty, reliability, integrity, patience. Some feel-good terms there. Honesty, I guess, is kind of active, but sincerity, reliability. It's not exactly an emotional physical split here, but so going up the more physical side, industrious, self-control, and Wes Watson, this is one of his major keys to success that he talks about, is impulse control. impulse control and never being satisfied, I think, are the two things that he says are the key to just absolute success. Is not being satisfied in here anywhere? Not being satisfied. Well, it's up here, self-satisfaction. So not being satisfied until you've given that 100%, which is actually unobtainable anyways. So yeah, we'll throw that in as well. Condition is your actual physical, mental, and moral, as he puts it, spiritual, emotional, exercising and balance with rest to actually make yourself stronger and stronger, which goes hand in hand with skill, of course. So those two really go together. And then poise is simply just being yourself, which leads up to your competitive greatness. Up the side here, ambition, adaptability, resourcefulness, fight. So fight is definitely on the kind of active physical side of this thing. And then faith, which is where you're just kind of going to do it anyways. Even if you have no idea whether success is possible, you're just doing it and you're taking the leap of faith. Another interesting one here, friendship and loyalty, kind of down here. As I think about the Homeric epic, the Iliad, and Achilles' love for his friend Patroclus, I think Achilles and Patroclus would probably put friendship like maybe right here, right under competitive greatness. And not just the Iliad, but throughout a lot of like the old literature, you get this thread that these friendships in war, these sort of warrior friendships where people really go to the extreme of competitive greatness. I mean, he was a basketball coach, UCLA basketball coach. But war is a whole nother level of competitive greatness. And of course, I'm not speaking from experience. I've never been in a war, but it's another level of that competition. I mean, where life and death, it's a life and death competition. And so the friendships formed, you hear about these military friendships and the loyalty and the bond that's there. It's like a love that doesn't compare. So that'd be interesting to see where that would kind of rise up. Alertness. There's some Buddhist mindfulness for you right there. Initiative. Cultivate the ability to make decisions and think alone. Ooh, thinking alone. So a little bit of disagreeableness as well. And well, you see that we covered most of them. I think it's really cool, and I'm going to try to see how I can apply it in my life. And I hope that you enjoyed as well. Take a look. I'm going to put a link in the description below so you can look at a bigger copy and you don't have to pause the screen and all that. See you next time.